Okay, so the top here, okay, the numerator, you should see x squared minus 4 is special, isn't it? Because it's a quadratic with no x term, okay, so 0x, yeah? We've seen this in the previous task where you can factorize this, okay, having two brackets if you think of it being 0x in there, okay? But we should see that it's quite simple, and remember the process of what we call the difference of two squares. Okay, so if you're not familiar with it, you need to go back to the last task I set, right? And I showed that this is the difference because there's a minus, two squares. This is the square of x, and that's a square, isn't it? Because this is the square of 2. And what you end up with when you factorize, you have double bracket, and basically what you square to get x squared, well, is x, and what you square to get 4, well, it's 2. Okay, so you have two brackets like that with x and 2, and then one of them's positive, one of them's negative. Okay, it's simple, it really is. Multiply them out, you see you get the top, and then on the denominator then you get that, and you can see then we got a cancellation here. They divide each other, they cancel each other out, and we end up nice then with x plus 2 on the numerator, and on the denominator x plus 4. So we've simplified this. It looks a lot better than that. Okay, let's look at a couple more. Let's look at this one here then. So in this case here, we've got a bit of work here, okay, because you see this here, like difference of two squares, you might think again, yeah, because there's a minus. However, the 48 isn't a square number, isn't it? Okay, 49 is, but 48 isn't, and neither is 3. But again, we saw this in the previous task. What you can do on the top here, let's just deal with the numerator here on its own separately. What you can do is appreciate, actually, there's a common factor here of 3. So you could have a single bracket. Okay, you could take 3 out. Okay, single bracket, and then what do I times by 3 to get that? Well, it's x squared. What do I times by 3 to get that? Well, 16 is now negative 16. And then what I hope you see is, in that bracket, we've got the difference of two squares. Okay, that's 4 squared, and that's obviously x squared. So what you do then is, as we did in the previous task, put this into two brackets with the two terms that we're squaring, one of them positive, one of them negative. And there you go, we factorized the numerator there. With the denominator, you've got to factorize that as well, yeah? But perhaps we'll do that all in one go now. So let's just go for the answer here. So let's write the numerator in. And on the denominator then, we'll two brackets, x in both. Now we need two numbers that multiply to give 28, add up to give 11. So you can see there it's going to be positive 7, positive 4, yeah? Okay, doesn't matter which way you write them, but that's what we've got there. And you can see there's a common term there on the numerator and denominator. They cancel each other out. We end up with, okay, let's just draw a line here for the fraction. We end up with 3 on the top times the bracket, and then on the bottom we've got the x plus 7 there. Okay, so that's our simple process. You don't have to put a bracket around the bottom here, okay, because it's on its own. Alright, you can if you want, it doesn't hurt, but we've simplified. We've gone from here to here. So let's look at this last one then, okay. So with the last one here, difference of two squares again. Now this time we have got 49, haven't we? So that is a square, and that's a square as well, isn't it? Because that's the square of 2x. So we can go for this straight away. Okay. So what do I square to get 4x squared? Well, that would be 2x. What do I square to get 49? That would be 7. So one of them's positive, one of them's negative. And then on the bottom then, just, well, that's already factorized for us. That's quite nice. And you can see then that the 2x minus 7s will cancel. Okay, and we're left with then those two terms there. So we've got 2x plus 7 on the numerator and 5x minus 1 on the denominator.